Hello beautiful people, you're welcome back to my channel. In today's video you're going to learn how to sew this pencil skirt with a bust contour using a lace fabric. I'm going to be making use of these materials for this tutorial. Here I have my lace fabric. This is a lace fabric, and I also have the doll face fabric. That is the one that will be under the lace directly, and the last fabric I have here is the lining. Okay, a detailed video on how I drafted this pattern is right here on this channel, and I will drop the link in the description box. Please do well to watch that particular video before moving to this one. Since I'm making use of a lace fabric, I will not be needing this hem allowance of 2 inches I added here, so I'll just go ahead and cut it off at this moment. I'll cut it off from the front pattern and also from the back skirt pattern. I've gone ahead to use the skirt pattern to cut out the skirts on the fabric, and I've only done that for the bridal satin fabric and the lining. I've not cut out the lace fabric yet, so I went ahead to add my side seam allowance. Remember, the front is placed on fold, the center front is placed on fold, and this part I'm touching is the side front. As you can see here, I used the skirt pattern to cut out only the bridal satin fabric and the lining. For the back of the skirt, it is not cut on fold. As you can see on the back skirt pattern, I have cut times 2. That means I need 2 pieces of this. 2 pieces of the bridal satin fabric and 2 pieces of the lining, making it together 4 pieces of fabric. Okay, and I went ahead to add my side seam allowance. Remember, I already have the zipper allowance on the pattern paper, so I didn't add an extra one. I only added the side seam allowance. Whenever I'm making a pencil skirt using a lace fabric, I normally reduce the lining fabric by like 2 inches so that it will be shorter than the bridal satin fabric. I'll go ahead and do that for both the front and the back. Then I'll take it to my sewing machine and hem the down part like so. I will hem the bridal satin and also hem the lining fabric, both for the front skirt pattern and the back skirt pattern. Still on the back part of the skirt, for me to be able to differentiate between the center back and the side back of my skirt, I usually place a little notch at the center back to avoid any form of confusion, because both the center back and the side back are all curvy. The next thing I will do now is to cut out this lace fabric, but before then I'll first of all attach the already cut out bridal satin fabric on this lace. And here I have my lace placed in a way that the right side is touching the table while the wrong side is facing up. Then I'll come in with one of the bridal satin skirt pieces and I'll place it on the part of the lace I want for this skirt. You look at your lace pattern properly and determine the part you want depending on the design on the lace. And that's exactly what I am doing here. I'll make sure I arrange this skirt piece. I'll arrange it properly. I'll lay it flat on the lace fabric. Then after which I'll come in with my hemming gum. I'll place the hemming gum round the skirt piece like so at the tip of all the corners of this skirt. I'm going to do that right away. I'm going to use my iron now to iron all the parts where I placed the hemming gum. Now the function of the hemming gum is to attach the bridal satin to the lace. Okay, instead of going to the sewing machine to top stitch the two pieces of fabric together, I'm just using my hemming gum to hold the two pieces together to make it to be one piece. An alternative is for you to use your gum to also do this, your fabric gum. So I wasn't patient enough to wait for the hemming gum to melt. I was actually rushing this particular project, so please allow your own to melt properly. But this is what it should look like. I'll go ahead and repeat this same process for all the bridal satin skirt pieces, but I'll do that off camera because I don't want this video to be too long. The same thing I did to attach these two, the lace and the bridal satin together, I will do it for all the bridal satin skirt pieces. I only used one of the back skirt pieces to do this illustration. The next thing is to use the corresponding lining of each of the skirt pieces to finish up the waistline and the sides of the skirt. And I will illustrate this using this basket piece. This is one of the back skirt pieces. I'm going to use it to show you what to do to other skirt pieces. I'm going to place the lining on the main fabric, right side facing each other like so, and I'll align it properly. You can use your pin to hold it down. Then I'm going to sew 1/2 inch at the waist area. Okay, I also have 1 inch at the waist area. Then for the sides, I'm going to sew 1/4 inch for the two sides just to finish up the rough edges of the side. I'm going to repeat the same process for all the skirt pieces that I'm holding here, then I'll iron them properly. After sewing the waist area and the two sides, you come over to the down part of the skirt. You come to the hem of the skirt. I'll put my hand inside like so and pull out the waist area to turn this skirt to the right side like so. I'm going to use my hand to bring out all the parts that are folding in. I'll bring it out properly, then I'll take it to my ironing table and give it a nice press. I've marked out my zipper allowance of 1.25 on one of the back skirt pieces, and the next thing I'll do now is to mark out the point where my zipper is going to stop, and I'll be using 8.5 inches for this. From the waistline, I marked 8.5 inches. Now I want to determine where my slit is going to start from. So my knee length while drafting was 18 inches. So for this, I'm going to make it 17.5 for easy movement around my knee. I don't want it too tight around my knee when I am walking. So I came down by 17.5 from the waist to determine where my slit opening will start from. So when I'm sewing, I'm going to sew gather stitch to the point where the zip will stop. Then I'll sew a normal back stitch to that point where the slit will start from. Then I'll complete it with a gather stitch again. Okay, the more we move in the video, you understand what I just explained now. So I've come in with the second basket pieces and I've placed the two pieces together like so. Remember, I followed the shape of this center back to mark out the zipper allowance. After that, I pressed the zipper allowance open like so. Then at this point, I'm going to open up the parts where I'm supposed to fix the zipper. That was why I used a gather stitch to hold it down first. Okay, I'll open it up and go ahead and fix my zipper. As you can see here, I have gone ahead to fix my zipper, and it's time for me to shape this skirt now. This slit area will remain closed until I'm done shaping the skirt and sewing on my machine. Then after which I'll open it up and finish it up properly. I'm going to show you all that. Starting from one side of the waist area, I'm going to measure and mark my waist circumference divided by 2. I'll place the mark there. The next thing I'll do is to measure what I have left at that point. I'm going to measure the remaining space or allowance I have there. Let's say, for example, the remaining space is 2.5 inches. I will use my tape like so to divide the 2.5 inches into 2, and I will mark a part of it on this part of the waistline, and I'll mark the other part on this other side of the waistline. This is the way I shape my skirt. Just follow me. I'll come over to the hip line, the main hip line now, not the mark above the hip line or below. I mean the main hip line. I'll take my hip circumference divided by 2 and I'll mark it there. I'll measure what I have left at that point. Then I'm going to be dividing the figure into 2 equal parts. When I do so, I'll mark it on both sides of the hip line. The same figure we marked on the main hip line, I'm going to also mark it on the line above and below the hip line. Then for the knee, I will repeat the same process for the knee line. After marking out the shape of my skirt using my body measurements, I placed the back and the front right side facing each other, and I took it to my sewing machine and joined it at the 2 sides of the skirt. At this point, I'm going to open up the slit area. I'll open it up to the 17.5 inches mark I placed earlier. Then after opening up the slit, this is what it should look like. Okay, at this point I'll come in with my hemming gum and place it under the slit, under the allowance around this slit area to hold it down. Okay, this will give your slit area a very neat finishing. I'll use my hemming gum and my iron to hold down that part. So we have come to the end of today's tutorial. This is the finished look of the skirt. This is what it looks like. Okay, and this is the back of the skirt. This is the slit area. See how neat it looks. This is what it should look like after giving it a very nice press. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell to get notified each time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.